With Russell Wilson signing with the New York Football Giants, this player just got great news. We're going to break that down on today's show. But first, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We are on the brink of breaking a record here at Giants Now. Last April, we picked up 4,032 subscribers. That was the draft last year. We're on our way to breaking that record in March. We're about 300 subs away. The people that can help us are the people that are unsubscribed. And 50% of the people that watch this channel are unsubscribed. So if you want to help a diehard Giants fan out and you want free videos every day, smash that sub button right now. You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for stopping by as we tell you why the signing of Russell Wilson is great news for Jalin Hyatt. And Jalin Hyatt is saying, please, Russell Wilson, cook. With the Giants signing Russ, it's time for Jalin Hyatt to be a contributor to this football team. The Giants selected him in the third round. They traded up to get him in the third round. This was the Biletnikoff winner at Tennessee in the SEC. He needs to have more than 8 catches next year. The Giants and Jalin Hyatt are both to blame. They both need to be better. But I believe with the signing of Russ, Jalin Hyatt can maybe be the guy that we once thought he was going to be. And Russell Wilson, he kind of thinks the same thing as well. Russell Wilson saying, I talked to Jalin Hyatt today a little bit. I just think he's a guy that's been untapped in terms of what he knows he's capable of. And Russell Wilson knows that Jalin Hyatt is a player that fits perfectly with how he wants to play the quarterback position. And to be quite frank with you, it is now or never for Jalin Hyatt. 8 receptions last year, not a part of the football team. If he goes through another year of looking from the outside in when it comes to wide receiver snaps, the Giants are going to cut him going into year 4. And there is even a world where he doesn't even make it to week 1 with the Giants. He could be traded. But I want to hold out hope and see what he could do with Russell Wilson. Because I saw a guy in his rookie year come in and make an impact in ways that we thought he would. By taking the top off the defense. By being a deep threat. By being an explosive playmaker. We saw that in week 2, the second game of his professional football career. Giants fall down big in the first half to Arizona. And they come back on the back of Jalin Hyatt. 2 receptions for 88 yards, 44.5 yards per catch. He also had 2 catches for 75 yards against Washington, 37.5 yards per catch. But his best game of his NFL career that shows me that he can at least be a contributor to an explosive offense is what he did in week 12 in his rookie year against the New England Patriots. 4 catches for 109 yards, 21.8 yards per catch with Tommy DeVito throwing him the football. Jalin Hyatt had a solid, maybe a little bit less, above average rookie year. Maybe fell short of some expectations. But 23 catches for 373 yards, 16 yards per catch. His average depth of target was more than 20 yards. He showed off who we thought he could be, which was a deep threat who could take the top off the defense. I don't think he ever had the best quarterback to play with, and definitely one that doesn't fit his style, but there's no reason that he only had 8 catches for 62 yards in 16 games played last year. It's not just that he didn't get the football. This year, he didn't even play. 557 snaps in his rookie season. Cut in half, essentially, in his second year. 344 snaps for a third-round pick in their second year. Disappointing from the Giants side of things and from Jalin Hyatt's side of things. Russ is the best quarterback Jalin Hyatt has ever played with. That goes back to high school, to college, to the NFL. And we see all the time quarterbacks unlock certain wide receivers. And I bet Jalin Hyatt was pretty pumped up when he saw Russell Wilson sign with the Giants. And Russell Wilson knows that Jalin Hyatt is a great fit for him and for the type of quarterback he is and how he wants to go about playing the position at this point. Russell Wilson's a deep ball thrower. Russell Wilson was the best deep ball thrower in the National Football League last year. Russ is someone that wants to give his receivers chances down the field. He wants to air it out. Russell Wilson had 24 big-time throws. That was the 12th most in the NFL last year. He only played in like 12 games, and he had the 12th most big-time throws. If you want to break it down to a percentage perspective, he had the third best big-time throw percentage. That puts more color to the picture, I think. When you talk about his deep completion percentage, 54%. When he threw the ball with more than 20-plus air yards, he completed it at 54%, number one in the NFL. And his deep PFF grade, his grade on throws that went more than 20-plus air yards, number one in the NFL at 97.3. You see the spray chart on screen. Russ wants to throw it outside. Russ wants to attack outside the numbers. And Russ wants to take the top off the defense. When Russ targeted the deep left part of the field, he completed 13 of 25 throws for 3 touchdowns. When he targeted the deep right part of the field, he had an NFL passer rating above 140. Outside the numbers, deep down the field, and even deep down the middle of the field, Russell Wilson can get the ball to Jalin Hyatt. The Giants, quite frankly, need Jalin Hyatt to produce at this point. There has been a lot of misses in the NFL draft for Joe Schoen since he's got here. I think he's made 24 selections, I believe, in his time with the Giants. And to be nice, he's not doing so well in round 3. In 2022, with the 67th overall selection, he selected Joshua Zudu, who is a non-factor for the New York Giants. He selected Cordell Flott with pick 81. And while Cordell Flott is not a bum and Cordell Flott is not a scrub, Cordell Flott's a CB5 and a CB6 on a roster. So you got a guy that is a depth piece for you. Could be a lot worse. Jalin Hyatt caught the ball 8 times in year 2. That's a massive failure. Drew Phillips looks like a good pick. So you got a good pick in Phillips, an average to below average pick in Cordell Flott, and 2 major misses so far in Josh Azudu and Jalin Hyatt. You can't keep setting third-round picks on fire. And, I don't believe Jalin Hyatt just forgot how to play football. I just don't believe that Hyatt can't get it done anymore. Is he a limited player? Yes. Do you have to use him in certain ways for him to be effective? Absolutely. But Hyatt has to get better too. It's not just on the Giants. The Giants do need to put him in spots to be more effective. But Hyatt has to get better. He's got to add more to his route tree. He's got to be stronger at the catch point. He's got to get better at getting off the press. He's got to get better at absorbing contact on his routes and playing through the contact. And I would like to see the Giants use him more. Both of the parties here are to blame. Hyatt needs to be better. The Giants need to put him in a spot to be better. Good coaches know how to put talented individuals in spots to maximize their production. I don't think the Giants have done that. I also don't think Hyatt has lived up to the bill on his part of being the best player that he absolutely could be and getting better and better and better every day he steps on the football field. And I'd like to see him step on the football field with Jalin Hyatt here and Darius Slayton here and Malik Neighbors in the slot. I want to see all 3 of those guys on the field together at times next season. We didn't really see that much last year. And side note, I want to see Malik Neighbors play more in the slot. He did the most damage out of the slot in college, running those slot fades, using the whole side of the field to work. Only played in the slot 27% of the time for the Giants this year. Can we get that up to 35% of the time? And that means you could see a look of Hyatt outside, Slayton outside, and Neighbors in the slot. And if you don't play a cover 2 and put 2 safeties over both your outside threats, you got one-on-one with Slayton. You got one-on-one with Hyatt. I think it would be an interesting thing to run an experiment on. I don't know. I do know Malik Neighbors is going to have a big-time year. We're going to talk about how actually the signing of Russell Wilson should perk up the ears of every receiver on this team. But go to chatsports.com/neighbors and get your jersey today and show him some love. So this is what your depth chart at the receiver spot looks like heading into the NFL draft. Malik Neighbors, wide receiver 1. Your starting slot will be Wan'Dale Robinson. Darius Slayton, Your wide receiver, too. You brought him back on a pretty decent deal. Well, Jordan Humphrey, Zach Pascal added in free agency. Amir Smith-Marset, he's going to be your punt and your kick returner. You got Jalin Hyatt, and you still got Bryce Ford-Wheaton. When it comes to Darius Slayton, I kind of want to see him have a career year. He's never played with a quarterback like Russ. He's never had a guy that can take the top off the defense. Darius Slayton had 4 catches this year where the ball traveled more than 20-plus yards in the air. Darius Slayton had 7 catches in 2023 where the ball traveled more than 20-plus yards in the air. He's an explosive downfield receiver when he catches the football. And I think with Russell Wilson, Darius Slayton should take his game to another level. I mean, we just saw Malik Neighbors put up 1,200 yards in 15 games with the worst professional quarterback room I have ever seen. And Daniel Jones, Drew Lock, Tommy DeVito, and Tim Boyle. Everyone, when I pushed for the Giants draft Malik Neighbors last year, but Marshall, who's going to throw him the ball? Who's throwing him the ball? Who's throwing the ball? It doesn't fucking matter. This dude just went out for 1,200 yards in his rookie year. The worst Malik Neighbors will ever be as a football player was last year. The worst quarterback room, hopefully, he ever plays with will be last year. And he had 1,200 yards in a year that he only played 15 games. Neighbors had just 7 catches of more than 20-plus air yards. I want to see that number double with Russell Wilson. Grade the Giants wide receiver room for me in the comment section. A, B, C, D, or F. I'm curious. I'd like to see them add another player, Travis Hunter. But let me know. A, B, C, D, or F. Sound off for me. And make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram @MarshallGreen_. Hit me up. And let's go Big Blue.